Today we will sketch the root locus for write down gs equal to k s plus 0.5 s square s plus 4.5. I hope video is straight this time.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. It's straight, sir.
Yes,
No
sir.
issues.
Yes, sir. It's straight.
No issues now.
No, sir.
Now let us solve this. Now let us mark 0 first. So we have 0 at s is equal to minus 0.5. This is our zeros. And we have poles. And poles are, please tell me what are the poles? Please tell me the poles.
Sir, 0, 0, comma, minus 4.5.
Yeah, there are two poles on zeros. There are 2 poles on zeros. And minus 4.5. This is very important numerical. Today's numerical is very important because we have 2 poles on same location. We have 2 poles on same location. Now, please write step number 1. Please write step number 1. Step number 1 speaks about number of poles and number of branches. So since we have 3 poles, so there are 3 open loop poles. Hence there are 3 branches in the root locus. There are 3 open loop poles. Hence the number of branches in root locus is 3. Now step number 2. Step number 2 speaks about the starting point of branches and terminating point of branches. So we have 3 branches. We have 3 branches, and the starting point of the 3 branches are 0, 0, minus 4.5. So our branches will start from 2 branches will start from 0, and 1 branch will start from minus 4.5. Now that is the starting point. We have only 1 0. So one of the branch will terminate at 0. One of the branch of root locus will terminate at 0. And 2 branches will go to infinity. The 2 branches will terminate at infinity. So please write all this in step number 2. The starting point of a branch and the terminating point of a branch. Now, step number 3, before that, we will draw our root locus as plane, and this is 0, 1, Now let us mark our zeros and poles. So we have two poles at 0. So 2 times 2 cross mark you have to put on 0. And we have one pole at minus 4.5. Minus 4.5. Now we have a 0 at 0.5. Now, having done this, let us find out which points lies on root locus of a real axis. That is step number 3. Now, see carefully. We have two poles on 0. We have two poles on 0. So left of this does not lie on my root locus because there are two poles right side of all these points. So the point between 0 to 0.5 does not come in my root locus. Next, let us see this point after 0.5, after minus 0.5. All these points, they come in my root locus. The reason, there are two poles and one 0, 3. Right side of this, we have 3 numbers of poles and zeros. So the rule says it should be odd number. So we have 3, that is odd number. So we have 2 poles and 1 0. So point between minus 0.5 to minus 4.5 lies in my root locus because it has odd number of poles and zeros to the right side of it. So that is step number 3. Before that, I'll mark it. So the point between minus 0.5 to minus 4.5 lies in my root locus because there are odd number of poles and zeros to the right side of these points. This is your step number 3. Step number 3, all points between minus 0.5 and minus 4.5 are on root locus. Since the sum of number of poles and zeros to the right of these points is equal to 3. Now, out of these 3 poles, one will go to 0 and other two will go to infinity. We know that the branches will go to infinity along with asymptotes. So that is step number 4. Let us find out asymptotes. Step number 4, let us find out asymptotes. Since we required 2 asymptotes, we know that it is angle is 90 and 270, but let us do the calculation. So phi is equal to 2q plus 180 divided by p minus z, where q is 0 First calculation. So when Q is 0, this becomes 180 by P minus Z, pole minus 0. We have 3 poles and 1 0. So this becomes 90 degree. This becomes 90 degree. Similarly, when you put Q equal to 1, we will get 270 degree. So we got asymptotes 90 degree and 270 degree. This is step number 4. Step number 4. Now we know that if 2 or more asymptotes are there, we need centroid. So next is centroid. Now it says that sum of real parts of poles minus sum of real parts of zeros divided by 2. Please tell me what is the centroid?
Minus 2.
Minus 2.
Yes, sir.
So you get minus 4.5 minus 0.5 divided by P minus Z. So 3 minus 1. So this becomes minus 4 by 2. So centroid is minus 2. Let us mark centroid on our S plane. So please note that other than root locus branches, all other lines are dotted lines. All other lines are dotted lines. So don't make a thick line, dark line, or any other than root locus lines. So we write down here, this is centroid. And mark 90 degree and 270 degree. So this is 90 degree and 270 degree. So this is two asymptotes. One is 90 degree and other one is 270 degree. So this is step number 5. Now let us find out the breakaway point. Let us find out the breakaway point. That is step number 6. So 1 plus gs hs is equal to 0. So we know that from this we will get k equal to minus s square s plus 4.5 divided by s plus 0.5. Please differentiate this. Differentiate this. Give me the roots. Yeah, anybody with a breakaway point?
Minus 1.5 and 0, sir.
Yeah, that's correct. 0 and minus 1.5. And 2 you will get. Minus 1.5, minus 1.5 and 0. Now if you see, there are 2 points, breakaway point. One is at 0 and one is at minus 1.5. So mark at 1.5. So this is breakaway point. Breakaway point at minus 1.5. Now, if you see carefully, we have 2 poles here. See, intersection with imaginary line is not required because the poles are on imaginary line only. So let us conclude now. We have 2 poles here, 1 pole here and 1 0 here. So this full branch comes in my root locus. So a branch will start from this pole and it will terminate at 0. So I can put this as one branch from starting from pole to 0. This completes one branch. Now, if you see, there are 2 poles here and they have to go to infinity using this asymptote, and breakaway point is minus 1.5. So what will happen? The 2 branches will start at 0 and it will go to breakaway point. So see carefully, one branch will go to breakaway point and then it proceeds to infinity. This is a breakaway point. Other branch will go to breakaway point and it proceeds to infinity. So please see that you have 2 branches originating from 0. So they will go to infinity via breakaway point. So this is the way it has to be drawn. So this completes our root locus.